Vlog number 4. I've put it away now, I bought a microphone for my phone, for, to a lapel thing that sticks on here and sticks in the phone, and thought I'd use it, and it might be helpful when I'm outside so that you can hear me, or when we're in the car and I can clip it on Mark and you can hear him when we're talking. And I tried it several times. First time I didn't follow the instructions. Who follows instructions, for fuck's sake? Second time I turned it on, played it back on my phone, couldn't hear anything, so deleted it. It was quite good actually as well. Deleted it, and then realised that I hadn't unplugged the receiver from the phone, which was stopping me from hearing it. So then I recorded it a third time. It's getting really boring now. I mean, it's probably boring for you anyway, but it's more boring for me. Recorded it a third time, thinking, okay, I got it sussed, it's turned on, whatever. Uploaded it. It took forever to upload. Went off and played my game or had a sleep or something, came back, started to play it, and it was working. I thought, yes, it's working, for about 2 minutes, and then it just cut out and wasn't working. And I scrolled through to the end of the vlog and it hadn't worked for the rest of the vlog. So it's being returned because I can't be, that's just ridiculous. My vlogging is not meant to be this hard. And now I've got to remember what I told you. None of it of any consequence, none of it really very important, and it really just that I haven't vlogged since Friday. We've been busy. We did a déchetterie run on Thursday afternoon, which was quite a lot. We filled the car, and it still didn't take everything, and I did more than I would normally, because obviously I'm helping Mark, because I don't really want him to be doing stuff. So we did that on Thursday. In the middle of me helping, which is very common in my family. My younger sister does it. My mum used to do it. We hurt ourselves or get something wrong. He'd piled the chicken food into our green trolley, the green trolley that we use to bring logs in, and it was sort of in the way. So I thought, well, I'll pull it through, and put it out the back, ready to go down to the chickens. So I pulled it through. It was heavy, but I did that. Pulled it through the kitchen, out of the kitchen, onto the patio, and then down just a tiny little, really tiny little change in level from the patio onto the grass, standing in front of it, and the hinge where the handle connects, because it rolled fast, dropped and smacked into my shin. I got the most massive bruise, really painful it was on my shin. That was Thursday afternoon, and it's still sore at times now, and getting darker and darker each day. So we did that on Thursday, and then Friday I finished off and did a second run to the déchetterie and did all the bottles. There were 3 loads of bottles. I don't know how they'd piled up, because we don't drink wine how other people drink wine. We rarely open a bottle of wine. Mark drinks beer a bit now and again. But whilst I was chucking them in the bottle bank the other day, I was laughing because a lot of the bottles were kombucha bottles and olive oil bottles. They weren't wine bottles at all. So I did that. I dropped some eggs off for Claire and Etienne, did a bit of shopping, came back. And I don't know what happened on Saturday. I was feeling low energy on Saturday. I can't really remember a lot. Saturday evening, I got a message from my hairdresser Jen, saying, can you come tomorrow or a week Monday? And she and her husband had been in a very bad car accident several weeks ago, I think, whilst we were still in Canada, and she's got an operation to go in and have in 10 days' time, so she's trying to catch up. It was odd to me to go on a Sunday, but I knew that if I'd said no, she would have had someone else. She'll work on a Sunday. So me saying no isn't stopping her from working or saving her from having, not having any time off. It's what she does. So we went over there and got my hair cut yesterday, which was weird. So I've designated today Sunday. And I cooked, I did a piece of roast pork, because we went and picked up some pork from the farm on Friday. So I did a piece of pork with some baked roast vegetables. And that was that. Yesterday was really low energy, struggling to keep my eyes open and not keeping my eyes open whilst we were driving over to Jen's and back. That was really hard. And I feel better today. I'm back to normal today. I think there might be a blip in steroids. Sometimes that happens, and it's as if I've forgotten to take my steroids. I don't know whether I did. So somebody was not happy. A couple of people were not happy with me for talking about the UK and the child hunger, and not mentioning what's going on in France and the violence and the death of Nazim in Nanterre. And I didn't understand why they were not happy with me, as I'm not a news desk. I'm not required to report everything that's going on everywhere. And we've been here 17 years. I was 52 years in the UK, and it still bothers me quite a bit when stuff goes on like that, when kids are going hungry, when parents are going hungry, and kids are stealing from lunch boxes to feed their parents, and when teachers can no longer afford to help support kids that are going hungry. It bothers me a lot. It bothers me a lot when rich, powerful people are just trampling over the poor, trampling over the hungry, and not really giving a shit, giving it a lot of this, but doing nothing about it. It really bothers me. Obviously, what happened in France last week and what's continued, the consequences of that are bothering me. Obviously they are, but the newspapers are covering it. All of the foreign newspapers are covering it. All the news stations are covering it. I'm not a news station. You don't need me to cover it. I am impacted by it. My friend Dean, her apartment 18 kilometres away, was the subject of an arson attack on Friday evening. There was violence in Châtellerault, where I go for my rheumatology. It is close, and I am impacted by it, but I don't have to report on it. It's not, this isn't what I do, and I don't understand why people, I sort of think if you are not happy with that, then do your own channel and talk about those things. If you feel that's being missed and it's not being spoken about, then have your own YouTube channel and do it there. You don't have to be here. If you don't like it here, you can move on. If you don't like what I do, that's tough. You know what I do. Yeah. So that pissed me off. It pissed me off because one of those people is somebody that in the past has had my back. And I really don't understand why that person decided not to have my back and to be pissy with me. And I replied to them, and then they've deleted their comment, and I would like to know why. I'd like to know what that was about. So yeah, that pissed me off. What else? Caught up with the eggs, gave eggs to Cleo, took eggs over for Jen. We've been eating eggs. Somebody said about making quiches. I don't really like quiche. And frozen quiche is worse than fresh quiche. It sort of gets a bit watery. It's not something I like. So I'm quite happy. We enjoy keeping hens. We love the eggs. And when we get a surplus, we like to be able to give them to people because people really appreciate them. And that suits me. Yeah, I'm not. Now and again, I have a bit of a thing, and I think, I'm going to make a quiche, and then I remember why I don't make quiches, because I don't really like them. was one other thing. I can't remember what it was now. I know what it is. This also piss a few of you off. There's been a rush of new people on Tattle, and I was sort of intrigued that all of a sudden of this rush of new people. So I would thought that I would use the login or login with the registration I made months and months and months ago, and where I'd had a message saying there's a queue, and you'll get an email when when there's space for you. And so I logged in, and I got, there's a queue. You'll get an email. And I thought, you fucking liars. They are just lying arseholes, aren't they? There isn't a bloody queue. It's because it's me. There's no queue. It's all these new people, and I'm wondering which one of them is the replacement for the person that's gone AWOL. I'm not going to say a name. The person that pissed everybody off and irritated everybody and agrees with everybody. That person. I wonder whether one of these new ones is a replacement. So I just thought I'd put that out there. Okay. This vlog will work because I've not done anything different. There's no microphone plugged in. So that's it. And have a nice Sunday, even though it's Monday.